I've only known him for like 3 months, but I feel like he's been like a best friend for so long. We have so many things in common. And I want to put your hands together and give a real warm welcome to Bob Carver.
Let's have another round of applause for Brian Gray. Man, killed it. These are nice and warm, perfect for me. I'm just going to get right into it. I'm just going to get right into it. I hate getting older. My newest problem is I'm spontaneously farting when I'm walking too fast or climbing stairs. I just crop dusted this table right now. I'm so sorry. Gosh, I'm a comic. Did it smell funny? Couple months ago, my wife is going on a business trip, and she's standing at the front door, and she says, "Bob, I forgot to do your laundry. Do you think you can handle that?" I said, "Sure." She goes, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, babe, I got it." As she walks out the door and walks into her car, I think to myself, I've been married to this beautiful woman for 30 years, and she's been doing my laundry for 30 years. But how hard could it be, right? I did it when I was a single man. So I did what I did back then. I grabbed every stitch of clothing I owned, and I went into our laundry room. Now, our laundry room in our house is one of those in-between rooms, between the house and the garage. So I walk in that room, and I pop open the laundry machine, and I started to pack every single piece of laundry in that machine. And then I went to grab the soap, and that's when things got stupid. 30 years ago, we had those cups. You filled the cup and you just poured it in there. She didn't have those. She had these pine tree scented soap pack things. And I didn't know how many to put in there, and I wasn't going to call her. So I grabbed about 5 of those suckers, popped them in that machine, closed the lid, forgot about it. Well, you know what happened? About an hour and a half later, I walk in that room, 3.5 suds inside the entire room. Smelled like a pine tree forest inside there. So I had to get the tools to clean up this mess, and they were in the garage. So I had to walk through the suds. I'm slipping and sliding, crop dusted myself. Smelled like someone shit a Christmas tree in there. So I get in the garage to look for the right tool for the job, and my dad always told me there's a right tool for the job, right? I found it, the leaf blower. Walked back in that room, left the door open, and just blew all the suds out into the garage. It was fine. But when I went to the laundry machine and I opened up the lid, I found out my clothes were still soapy. I said, screw it. Threw them in the dryer, hung them up, and forgot about it. Now, I kid you not, as soon as I got done doing the laundry, my daughter calls me. And she goes, Dad, do you think you can watch the grandkids overnight? Now, I watch the grandkids over, they stay overnight all the time when my wife's home. But I figured I could handle it. Now, let me explain. I've got a 1-year-old granddaughter. We call her Princess Adira. And I have a 5-year-old grandson. And we call him Bud Bud. Bud, yeah. And so they come over, and it was fine. We had a great time until it became time for bedtime. My wife normally took care of that. But it wasn't so bad. The 1-year-old, she passed out on her own. But that 5-year-old, I had to induce that on him. Found something out about a 5-year-old boy. He'll drink Bud Light. You should have seen him after his first beer. Looked just like his pawpaw. Sitting on the couch, belly hanging over his Spider-Man underoos, half-burnt cigarette hanging out of his mouth. On my phone trying to figure out how to call Domino's Pizza while wasted. But the funniest part was the next morning when he woke up with his little baby hangover, sitting at the kitchen table with his bowl of cereal, with his hands over his eyes, just crying to me, Paw, Rice Krispies, they're too loud. But I made it up to him. I did. I made it up to him. After breakfast, I promised, Bud and Princess Adira, I'd take him to the zoo. Okay. So I put on my clothes, put on Princess Adira's clothes and Bud's clothes, and we packed them all up, and we got in the car and headed to the zoo. I'll tell you something about myself. I like to drive fast. It's just something I do. And on the way to the zoo, Bud was loving the way I was driving. We were on the highway, and he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, Pawpaw, what's that R stand for on your stick shift?" Just kidding around though. I said, "Race." So he grabs my stick shift and throws my car in reverse. My car spins out of control. Before I know what's going on, I'm doing 95 miles an hour down the highway in reverse. And of course the cop is sitting right there. But it worked out right because he clocked me doing negative 95 and a positive 65, pulled me over, and wrote me a check for $300. I put 3 points on his license. So we made it to the zoo, and we had a great time. We saw the lions and the tigers and the bears. Oh my, right? But at the very end, we always go see the elephants. Okay, so I'm pushing Princess Adira in her stroller, and Bud's walking beside me. And he's looking at the elephants, and I can just see him thinking. He looks up at me and goes, "Pawpaw, what's that long thing right there?" I said, "Well, that's the elephant's trunk. That's what he used to pick up nuts with." He goes, "No, Pawpaw, the other long thing right there." I said, "Well, Bud, that's the elephant's tail. That's what he used to swat flies with." He goes, "No, Pawpaw, the other long thing hanging around the ground, that long thing right there." I said, "Oh, well, but that's the elephant's thing. And that's what he uses to make little elephants with." And I saw him thinking, I thought I dodged a bullet, and he's still thinking, and he goes, "I'm confused, Pawpaw. I was here a couple months ago with Grandma, and she said that's nothing." I said, "Well, Bud, your Grandma's kind of spoiled." Now, I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. I do believe in karma, and karma hit me right then and right there. Began to sprinkle. Oh no, we are so far away from the car, we got to get back to the car right away. So I'm pushing Princess Adira, and Bud's walking beside me, and the closer we got to the exit, the harder it began to rain. And I looked down at my clothes. And my clothes started getting soapy again. I start really walking fast. I start spontaneously farting, and bubbles were flying in my mouth. The kids at the zoo thought I was some sort of zoo attraction. So we made it to the car. We got home, and I had to change my clothes. I had to change Princess Adira's clothes, and as soon as I did that, she passed out in her nap, and I changed Bud's clothes. And I tell you what, at that particular moment in time, I was exhausted. Yeah, I was. I just wanted to turn on the TV, pop in a movie, and take a nap is what I really wanted to do. But Bud was looking out my back door, and I could see him thinking again. And let me just tell you something we've done for him. We did something really cool. We built a sandbox, really nice sandbox in our backyard, and he likes to dig in there for worms. Okay, he calls it going to work. So he's looking out that window, and he's like, "Pawpaw, I need to go out to work." I said, "No, Bud, it's raining outside. No one's going outside." He goes, "But I need to check on my worms and make sure they don't dry out." I said, but there's plenty of water out there, and they're not going to dry out." But he started putting on his boots and heading out there. He goes, "Well, I'm going to go check on him." I said, "No, Bud, we're not going outside." And then he walks up to me, and he holds my hand, so sweet. And he goes, "You can come with me." I said, "No, Bud, I don't want to get wet." And he goes, "Well, why would you get wet?" I said, "Because it's fucking raining outside." I shouldn't have said that because his eyes got so big. Still holding my hand, he goes, Paul, when we go outside, can you tell me what fucking means? I said, really? You want to know what that means? He goes, yeah. I said, I tell you what it means, by the way. I said, it means if you never say that word again, we'll go out and check on your words. So I was expecting a call, a couple days later from my daughter, that he said that word again, and I didn't get that call. My wife comes home from her trip, and she was so happy how clean the laundry room was. But then I got the call. About 2 weeks later, my daughter calls me. She goes, Dad, I got a question for you. She goes, you're not going to believe what Bud said to me. I said, what did he say? So he was looking out the window. He goes, it's fucking raining outside. I gotta go to Grandpa's and check on my worms. So I said, hold on. I put the phone down and I started thinking. I was like, okay. All right. I come back and I go, just tell Bud, it's fucking raining over here too, and the worms are fine. Got a whole bunch of friends and family here. Thank you so much for coming. I got my nephew here, Jacob. That's that Ed Sheeran looking dude right there. Say hi. And his beautiful girlfriend, Liv. Say hi, Liv. Liv, got a question for you. How long have you guys been dating?
7 years.
7 years. Dating 7 years, you know what we're thinking, right? When are you gonna put a ring on that, baby? When are you gonna put a ring on that, huh?
Soon.
Soon? Okay. Yeah. All right, just wondering about that. But Liv is awesome. Liv is absolutely awesome. She's very funny. And me and Jacob took her to see the first Aquaman movie, and she absolutely loved it. And so we obviously took her to the second one. And after the show, I asked Liv, I was like, did you like it? And she goes, no. And I was like, well, why not? She goes, well, Aquaman, Jason Momoa, he never took his shirt off. So you need to bulk up, dude. Can you imagine that Sheridan with all bulked up playing that little ukulele? Tell you something else about myself, folks. I'm from Herculaneum, Missouri. You guys don't know where Herculaneum is? It's about a hop 2 away from Arnold. That was not a sexual reference, folks. This thing is close to Arnold, And the people down there, how should I describe those people down there? They're stupid. They think the people of O'Fallon are city folk. They just can't understand how people in O'Fallon can work all week long and then spend all their money on drugs. Down there, they just make it. Now, my official name is Robert Charles Carver. Down there, they call me Bobby Chuck. Yeah. You're looking at me, you got a good look at me by now, and you're like, he kind of looks like Joey from Friends, all grown up after he just got done eating Chandler. The folks said it was also not a sexual reference. Lose some weight. In fact, I went to the doctor's the other day, and my doctor walked in and took a look at me. He goes, oh, Bobby Chuck. He actually said Bobby Chuck. He goes, COVID has not been nice to you. Yeah, he said, you're about a donut away from being a chair snapper. He said, Bob, I saw you walk in the office and I saw your ass from behind. It looks like two Teslas trying to pass each other. He said, Bob, don't ever buy a Tesla. You only get about a mile before the battery would die. Yes, and he did call me Bobby Chuck, and yes, he is from Herculaneum. Well, he's really a vet, but it's the same thing. I mentioned before I've been married. I've been married for 30 years to a beautiful woman. And a lot of people walk up to me after the show and they say, Bobby Chuck, what's the key to a long-lasting relationship? I say the same thing every single time. It's communication. You shut your mouth and you let her communicate as much as she wants to. That's exactly right. That's right. But I love my wife. She's awesome. She's got such a caring heart. She's always thinking about other people besides herself. And she's just a wonderful person to be around. But what I love about her most of all is she knows how to do my dishes. And yes, folks, I wasn't sexual. Yeah. I see my friend Scott back there from Redbud. Yeah, Scott. And his beautiful wife, Shaniqua. Yeah. Say hi, Shaniqua. Yeah. If you look at her, you probably don't look. She doesn't probably look like a Shaniqua, does she? What you guys don't know is I've been calling her that for about 30 years, and she's got 3 beautiful daughters. We call them the Shaniquanettes. You may ask me, why do I call her Shaniqua? And it's a simple answer. I'm an idiot. Got my Italian family here. Hey, Italians in the room. Hey, what's the matter for you? All right, now keep your mouth shut. I'm working here. Come on, hey. Yeah, but one of my sisters couldn't make it tonight because she couldn't make it. But she's the crazy one in the family. She's one of those conspiracy thinkers. Yeah, she is. She called me the other day. She goes, Bob, you're not going to believe this, but have you noticed ever since the election, the entire country is a lot colder? And I said, yeah. She goes, I think Donald Trump fixed global warming. Tell you something else about myself. I was a Sunday school teacher for 8 years. Yeah, I was, and it was great. It's a true story. You know, I did the 2nd and 3rd graders, and I always stand at the front door as the kids walk in, and I say, "Good morning, brother. Good morning, sister. Good morning, brother." After the 3rd week, the boy stopped and looked at me and goes, "Why do you always call me brother?" I said, "Because you're my brother in Christ." He goes, "You look more like an uncle." But the reason I say that is, you know, if we all just treated each other more like brothers and sisters, I think this world would be a better world, right? Except for our family. It just, you know, don't act like our family, you know. Because, you know, if we saw one of our brothers and sisters acting up in our family, if Dad wasn't looking, we'd smack them upside the head. I'm not saying to do that, don't do that. Tell you something else about myself. During the day, or my day job, I'm actually developing a new drug. Okay? And you may wonder what that is. It's already passed human trials, and we're just waiting for FDA approval. I guess you guys wonder what it is. It's for erectile dysfunction, and I know what you're thinking. There's plenty of drugs out there already for erectile dysfunction, and you know, Viagra and for hymns and things like that. But I really don't think they address the full issue, because older man like myself, when we walk into the bedroom, it sounds more like this. "Oh, there she is. You're so beautiful. Tonight is going to be a special night. I'm going to jump on you. It's going to be fantastic." Of course, we're talking about our bed. We're talking about our bed. Because as an older man, you just get tired. So our products fix that. So what we've done is we've combined the power of Red Bull to help men stay up all night with the power of Viagra to help men stay up all night. And the product named itself. It did, you know. what we did is we crushed up the blue pills and we poured it in the Red Bull, and it turned the drink blue. And gentlemen, when you drink this, let me just tell you, it turns you as hard as a diamond below the waist. So we naturally call the product the Blue Glass Cutter. And it's a fantastic product. When it hits the market, please go out and try it. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Bob, this is bullshit. You know, it is. You know? And I totally understand why you would think that, but don't take my word for it. I actually have some letters of satisfied customers from our human trials that I'd like to read for you tonight.
All right.
Now, the first letter is from Harold. He's an older man. And Harold writes, Harold's handwriting is, first of all, pretty shaky. And this is what he writes. He writes, "To the makers of the Blue Glass Cutter, you've changed my life. I haven't slept for 3 weeks." Yeah, but I'm enjoying your product immensely. Not to brag, but 3 women in my nursing home facility is scheduled for hip replacement surgery. Now, I called Harold. I did. I called Harold and to thank him for his letter. And when I called him, I did find out that Harold did die. But I talked to his nurse, and it was okay. She said, "Bob, he died a happy man. We found out that he arrived and left at the same time." Which is every man's dream, right? But the product is just not for older men. I actually got another letter here from Jerome. Now, Jerome's a middle-aged black man, and this is what he writes. What it is. "To my brothers who make the Blue Glass Cutter, you guys rock. I've always struggled throughout my whole life getting my Johnson & Johnson fully erect. I calls it my Johnson & Johnson because it's twice the size of a normal Johnson. But now with my Blue Glass Cutter, the sky's the limit, or at least the ceiling. And P.S. Shaniqua from Redwood, my secret girlfriend, wants to thank you too." All right, guys, before I say goodbye to you guys, I want to thank all you guys for coming out. It's been special, really has. I want to thank Todd Wood, the owner of the Tap House, for letting us put on this fantastic event. And guys, if you haven't had a chance to eat next door, please make it a point to go do that. The food over there is amazing. The pizza, oh my gosh, the pizza is so good. You just want to put it in your chair, take off your pants, and sit on it. It is that good. It really is that good. And the French dips are just amazing. You take one bite into a French dip, it literally transports you over to Paris, France. It really does. So I'd like to start a petition to actually rename O'Fallon, Missouri as the Paris of the United States. I don't think it's going to work because the people of O'Fallon don't talk like the people of France, right? No, their language over there is so beautiful. Saying something as simple as "thank you, sir" sounds so beautiful. It's "merci beaucoup, monsieur." Even if we spoke French in here in O'Fallon, it wouldn't sound that nice. It'd sound more like "merci beaucoup there, monsieur." But thank you, Todd, for letting us do this awesome event. You guys have been amazing. Now, before I go, I want to talk to you guys about something. You know, I've talked a lot about things that I've done stupid in my life, but tonight's a special night, okay? In celebration of the Super Bowl tomorrow, you know, some of you guys may remember this, 40 years ago, it's almost the day, the Chicago Bears won the Super Bowl. Remember that?
The Bears.
And they did something stupid back then. They actually did a song called the Super Bowl Shuffle. Some of you guys may remember that. Okay. Follow me. So let me just tell you, when during that time I was working at Walmart. Okay? And they had a competition at this brand new store to raise morale in the store for $1,000. And so me and my buddy back then, Denny Green, wrote a song that we performed in front of the entire Walmart staff, and we won that $1,000. Yeah. So tonight, it's first time on stage it's been performed since that time. And I'm going to do for you tonight. This is totally embarrassing.
You're ready for it.
It's not worth it. But I'm going to do it for you anyway. All right? So let me get ready, and let's see how this goes, okay? Get my jewelry on here. Yes. All right. What's going on here? All right. Again, guys, get your phones out because this is never going to be.
For one and done.
Yeah, all right. So we're going to try this, okay? All right. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. The Walmart shuffle is easy as can be. So grab yourself a card and come along with me. We'll take a little trip around the store. We'll make you so happy you'll be coming back for more. The people of Walmart are proud as can be. They have the lowest prices as you can see. Come in and check us out and see what you can find. Customer satisfaction is always on our mind. See, we're all so curious, we always have a smile. Every little help will get you to the aisle. Waiting in line can always be a pain, but if you won't wait, we'll open up the lane. Mr. Sam is the man that got us all going. With a little help from you, we'll keep us stop growing. Committed to low prices every day, because that's real savings, that's the wrong way. Thank you.